I knew it was daylight savings, and I knew that we didn't have it at the same time, but I just didn't even think about it.
I think this happens to varying levels every year.
Yeah. I just got to remember that for the next 2 weeks after this, you guys don't do it till the 30th.
Yeah, we don't do it till the end of the month, so we
Yeah.
got to catch up a little bit.
Which is like, it's so stupid. It's like daylight saving time already is dumb, but why do it at different times throughout the world? It just throws everything off.
Dumb.
Some of us are international.
Yeah. Dumb shit.
But did we start already? No, we don't. No.
No.
We didn't start. No. We just started right there.
Nice.
Nah.
Well,
Nah. We didn't start right there. No.
Okay.
How about now?
I like it.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Cranked and Ranked. Cranked and Ranked, which today is Slashed and Mashed. And it's a Slashed and Mashed that I am very excited about. And,
hell yeah.
And it's the first of the trilogy. The last time we did an episode, I don't know where that came from. Did I start calling it the Cock Trilogy? Where did that come from? It just happened.
I think it was an organic thing. We had kind of like a triple bill of cock rock vibes going.
Yeah, there's 3 episodes in a row where cocks are very important. This very first one of the Cock Trilogy is us slashing and mashing 2 of my favorite Judas Priest albums, Turbo and Ram It Down. And then next week, or the next episode, we're going to be cranking and ranking Dangerous Toys. Is that the order we're doing them in?
Yeah.
And Dangerous Toys even has a song called Sportin' a Woody. So there you go.
Sportin' a Woody!
Cooking cock. Why did I say cooking cock? I don't know. That's cannibalism. And then the week after that, the conclusion to the Cock Trilogy is the exciting conclusion is that we'll be reading through a website that literally rates cocks and sexual prowess of rock stars. And that's been a long time coming, because I remember you mentioning that website a while ago and we just forgot about it. But now I'm like, nope, part of the fucking Cock Trilogy. How many times have I said cock in the beginning of this episode? And that's going to be the thing where I'm totally demonetized, because I'm already partially demonetized because I flag it as explicit. But
okay.
I always flag it as explicit. But cock, one cock. There's an old Ricky Gervais radio show thing where he's talking about how stupid it is that, like, if you're talking about a rooster, you can say cock all you want. One cock's fine, the other cock not good. I'm like, yeah, well, that's really. So they were literally trying to get Carl nervous, because this is when they were on XFN, an actual radio station. Yeah, and they were just talking about different birds, and they'd be like, well, how do you feel about tits? How do you feel about? I like tits. Do you like tits? I'm talking about the bird.
Awesome.
Anyway, awesome. All right. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like there was something I wanted to mention to you or talk about, but now it's gone. It's gone.
I had something really good then, but it's gone.
Yeah.
Del Preston, 1994.
Good old Del Preston. Oh, I know what I wanted to say.
Every once in a while, we like to get a little wasted. We like to take the alcohol.
That was the wrong one. I wanted to play this one.
No, I say let's raise some cane. Let's raise some cane.
So after watching that music video multiple times, I'm under the impression that the guy that they got to play bass isn't actually a bass player. Because he doesn't seem like he's hitting the notes, and he's doing this. He's playing like this.
Wow.
With a thumb. And I was like, do any bass players play with just a thumb when they're picking? That's a very weird way to play, but okay.
I've maybe seen like I've maybe seen it done in like 60s bands, like when they were playing like one note per bar.
When they do like this, when they're doing a little swaying back and forth and ding, ding, ding. Yeah, it's like, that's got to give you a mad fucking callus on the end of your thumb there.
Yeah.
Speaking of calluses, welcome to the Cock Trilogy. The Slashed and Mashed, Turbo, and Ram It Down. So here's the thing. So Slashed and Mashed, if you're new to this, is where we take two related albums. Sometimes a double album, sometimes it's like this, where maybe there was supposed to be a double album and it's not, and it's two separate. But we put them together into one nice package that we think it's mostly just to have a discussion about these albums. And then at the end of the day, you can go listen to the list that we made if you want. But with Turbo, famously, Turbo was supposed to be twin turbos, which was going to be a double album, and then I think the record label was like, "Nah, dog, let's not do that." And then some of those songs ended up on Ram It Down, the following album. Now, in doing my research, I even jotted down like other tracks just so we could talk about them. We don't have to. We don't have to. I don't want to fuck with those when it comes to putting them in this. I just want the two albums. But the thing that I find interesting, but more than not, I find it aggravating, is the fact that they have released a shitload of these songs that didn't end up on Twin Turbos, but they're just randomly like one of the, like literally one of them is on a British Steel reissue. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
I think they just had all of these songs, and when they did the CD remasters in the early 2000s, they scattered a lot of them across like these remasters as bonus tracks.
Yeah.
And I think that is a selling point, which I get. Let me have a quick look at was it Turbo, Judas Priest, because this is something I didn't even take into account. But there's a song called Fire Burns Below, and that was put on the fucking what's it called? Yeah, there's so many of these. It was on
the anniversary edition or something, or no?
It was on songs left over from Twin Turbo. It's got All Fired Up, which is on the Turbo reissue. Red, White, and Blue, which is on the British Steel reissue. Prisoner of Your Eyes.
Fire Burns Below is a B-side from Ram It Down, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that one ended up as the bonus track on what's it called? Stained Class.
Stained Class. Yeah. So before we even begin this, I want to put the call out. If anybody knows anybody in the Judas Priest camp, or anybody that works for, what label were they on? Columbia Records, or whoever owns this shit. Look, I know it's not cool. I understand we're not cool, but I want a Twin Turbos, or just don't even do call it Twin Turbos, but put all of these two albums, Turbo, Ram It Down, and all of their related B-sides or outtakes, because I feel like there are some that have just never even been released. They were recorded and not released.
Under the Gun and Fighting for Your Love.
Yeah,
unreleased.
And so I'm like, I would pay for that. Put out a fucking Twin Turbos box set, and I'll fork over the money for that, because I want to hear all these songs. Because as I've become a Judas Priest fan, to the disappointment of a lot of other Judas Priest fans, I have really gravitated towards the 80s stuff. And these two albums, taking songs off of these albums, like you said, it's a bit of a tough task. If you're into this, they're very solid albums if you're into this era of Judas Priest. If you're not, then whatever. But so yeah, we basically like take out songs that we agree shouldn't be on it, or we're okay with losing, and then we merge them together into one album that Eddie has decided to title very cleverly Ramming Speed. And so that is going to be, I like that, because you can't call it Twin Turbos, because we're having shit that wasn't recorded for Twin Turbos on here. So Ramming Speed actually sounds pretty good. I like that.
I can see it being a Judas Priest album title as well. Like it's like cartoonishly metal.
Yeah.
It's
Ramming speed.
yeah.
Yeah, I do love the fact that like that these two albums they both have hand jobs
Yeah.
on the cover, you
Yeah.
know, which I think is great, and because it's I don't know, I love both those album covers, but and then behind me, if you look, I have my Turbo Lover 12-inch back
Nice.
here, which actually has a remix.
I bet it is.
An extended remix of Turbo Lover on there.
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah, I love these albums. Obviously, Eddie loves these albums because he loves that era and the synthy type stuff.
Oh yeah.
So we go through them and we're going to figure out what to remove. And so you messaged me and you said, could we possibly make it 12 songs instead of 10? Because normally we kind of go with, well, how long are the two albums, and we'll make it one album. So both of these albums are, well, one's 9 and one's 10. So, but do you still feel like we need to go to 12?
How's about we'll play it by ear. We'll see how many tracks get the thumbs up, and if it's closer to 12, we'll work things out, because we'll work it out as we go, because I've done my little traffic light thing. I'll take you through it.
I actually was able to narrow it down to 5 definites from each album. Now,
Okay.
Now, not being said though, there are other ones
similar.
that I still truly enjoy, and so honestly, there's there's technically 2 songs that I'm like, nah, and one of them is a cover song. I'm pretty sure Johnny B. Good is not going on this. So,
I'll get to that, because initially I wrote it off as not going on, but I have a reason for why it's in the middle zone at the minute.
Oh, okay. Because it was attached to that fabulous movie Johnny B. Good, starring Anthony Michael Hall. I saw that movie in the theater and never thought about it again. And then years and years later, I randomly saw the video for Johnny B. Good with the movie clips in it, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot about that movie. Let's go watch it again." I could not make it 20 minutes into that movie. And I love some 80s cheesy movies, but that movie is so just like, what the fuck is this? Why was this made? I'm pretty sure the movie was just made because Anthony Michael Hall was like, look, I'm tired of playing a nerd. I've got some muscles now. Can I play a football player? Sure, let's write a movie over the weekend and start filming it.
Nice. I have yet to see it, and the worse someone describes something from the 80s, the more I want to watch it. Like,
You're right. You're right. I almost feel like that's a movie that I should like have a few drinks and then put it on and just laugh at it. But it was watching it sobered in the middle of the day. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go do something else with my life right now. Thanks. All right, let's get started. Hold on, I gotta put on my glasses. I got these new like plastic readers. So I can read stuff. So Turbo is where we're starting, which is this album here, and the track list on Turbo is Turbo Lover, Locked In, Private Property, Parental Guidance, Rock You All Around the World, Out in the Cold, Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days, Hot for Love, and Reckless. And
damn, dude, like hearing those songs read back to me, it's stacked.
It's a pretty stacked. They both are to me. So let's just get started. We'll go through and we first talk about each song and if we decided to keep it or not. If we agree, either way, it goes to that side of it's going on the comp or it's going in the bin, as they say over there in the UK.
With peace and love.
So Turbo Lover, I said no, that song's not going on this.
Good one.
Yeah. What am I, an idiot? Turbo Lover got a big yes for me.
Agreed.
Okay.
You can't have this album and not have Turbo Lover on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was quick. So next up, Locked In, also got a big old yes from me.
Locked In, I agree. I am locked in.
Locked in. Like, man, there's like so many.
Love that crazy
And
synth
then
line.
number 3, Private Property, got a big old yes from me.
Man, I am with you. I am
Yeah.
with you all the way.
And then we already talked about this last episode. Parental guidance got a big old yes from me. We don't need no parental guidance. Yeah, copyright.
No. I love the part in that song where it said, "There's no communication, tired of explanation." Gang vocals. Is this message getting through? I love that bit.
And then there's that little throwback line at the end when he does
Yeah.
that.
One life. I'm gonna live it up.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
And then the album comes to a screeching halt for me with "Rock You All Around the World." I gave that a big ass no.
That is, I'm in agreement. That is the one song on this album where the cheese outweighs the cool.
Yeah.
It's the one song on this album where when I'm listening to it, it's like you're laying it on a little thick now.
Yeah, it's honestly like it's the only one that for sure I went no, not this one. And then
If the whole album was that, I would probably agree with a lot of the critique.
Yeah.
However, this album is for the most part banger. So
but in the context of this album though, wrapping up side one, it's a fun closer for the first side. But yeah, if we're getting rid of songs, then "Rock You All Around the World" has to go. Okay. There's gonna be that one person in the comments that's like, "That's like my favorite Judas Priest song of all time." No, that's not gonna happen.
We're sorry, dude. That one dude.
And then moving to side two of the vinyl, this I know we're in agreement with this. This got a huge fucking yes for me out in the cold, fucking cold, dude.
I'm gonna right out of the gate say this has to open the album. That intro.
That's interesting that you say that. That's not a bad idea, actually.
I love how it starts. You know, I get fucking chills when it gets to the like and then
if I remember right, they play that on the Live Priest album, and the live version of that's fucking awesome too. That's just such a great song, so that concludes my five. So the next three songs were no's for me, but I like all three of these songs. "Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days" that's a fun song, but it doesn't quite have the hooks of like your Private Property and Parental Guidance in my opinion. So I gave that one a no.
Well, I've got "Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days" and "Hot for Love" as amber, so they could go either way right now.
Okay.
But I do have "Reckless" as a keeper because it was gonna be in Top Gun, and then it backed out for some reason. And when you listen to it, you can tell there are some lines in there. There's something about refueling, and it's like, that was meant to be in Top Gun. But like, there's finishing an album of this caliber with a montage song. Hell yeah, that's fucking staying.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. Yeah, it got a no from me, but I also really like that song. So let's hold on to "Reckless." From what I read, whether it's true or not, they were convinced that Top Gun was not going to be a hit.
Oh.
And they didn't want to be involved. And then they felt stupid, so they just gave their fucking song to the first shit movie that came their way.
Damn.
Imagine
fumbling that hard.
You live and you learn, but like, can you imagine "Reckless" being in Top Gun? Like, that would just I mean, it's already,
on the carrier.
Well, really, they should have played it during the volleyball scene. That would have been appropriate spot for
Reckless.
But then we wouldn't get "Playing with the Boys." We wouldn't get that if they put it there.
Yeah,
I feel like things worked out fine. Top Gun was a hit. Judas Priest are one of the most renowned metal bands ever in the history of music. So they're all good.
It's kind of an inconsequential fumble, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably
Still a
felt like a huge fumble at the time, though, because
It's like, ow,
yeah,
fuck, no.
But all right, well then, so okay, so we've got five absolute yeses, and then two. I feel like we should just get rid of Wild Nights and Hot for Love because I gave him a no, you gave him a maybe, but Reckless has a yes from you.
Yep.
So let's hold on to Reckless, and maybe that can be on there somewhere.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I never really thought about the montage aspect of Reckless because that's because it closes out the album. It has a closer vibe to me. But now that you mention it, I'm like, no, it really does have a.
You could put it in Rocky IV and it wouldn't feel out of place.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So I will also put these just for funsies for people that are listening and watching that are interested. So here are the songs that were left over from Twin Turbos when they recorded them, but they either went on Ram It Down or, as we said before, on weird reissues. All Fired Up ended up on the Turbo reissue.
Yep.
Red, White, and Blue was on the British Steel reissue. Prisoner of Your Eyes was on the Screaming for Vengeance reissue. Turn on Your Light was on the Defenders of the Faith reissue. And then Ram It Down, Hard as Iron, Love You to Death, and Monsters of Rock all went on Ram It Down. Heart of a Lion was on a compilation called...
Dude, that's a montage song from fucking...
Metalogy? How do you fucking say that? The compilation. Metalogy. That sounds better. I'm an idiot. Under the Gun's never been released, apparently. And then Fighting for Your Love has also never been released. But here you go. Here's another song called Under the Gun.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they probably looked around at the landscape and said, it's been done,
Yeah. And so...
Under the Gun.
So, yeah. So I would see if I could work with Columbia Records and be as nerdy as I want to be, and they go, hey, you designed the Twin Turbos, Ram It Down box set. That'd be cool. All right, here's what we're going to have. We're going to have original versions of both of the albums for those people that don't have them. They will have those in the box. Then there's going to be the Twin Turbos album, which is whatever the track listing was going to be for Twin Turbos, that's going to be on there. And then there's going to be another disc that maybe that's where we'll include the 3 unreleased tracks from Ram It Down. And then let's wrap it up with some live tracks that have been unreleased from around 1986, 1987, 1988. Boom. And maybe even put in a fucking DVD if there's some unreleased footage from around that time. And we're going to call it the Ramming Speed box set. We're already going to name it for Columbia Records. We've done all the work already.
Dude, we're on another level. That was a monologue of the century right there. Holy shit!
Because that's the thing is and I think I almost feel like there are people that work for Metallica that will reach out to fans and be like, what would you want in this box? Because their box sets are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like they're coming to somebody like me and being like, well, what would you like? And then they kind of, or just, Metallica are still, they're still fans. And so like, what would we want in the box set? But some box sets are released and I'm just like Alice in Chains. Come on, guys. Let's figure your shit out in the box set game because they look nice, but that's it. So
can you imagine though if they do all of these album box sets and then they do like a Music Bank reissue?
Oh, I would love that.
Everything onto it. If they do that,
if they do All Is Forgiven, Alice in Chains. All right, cool. So left over from Turbo, we have Turbo Lover, Locked In, Private Property, Parental Guidance, Out in the Cold, and possibly Reckless.
Cool.
Which brings us to Ram It Down, straight into your butthole now.
There is kind of a fisting vibe going on the album.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Man, this is once again. Let me get the readers on. So, Ram It Down. Here's the Ram It Down track list. Same thing for me reading through these for the most part. This album fucking rules. Ram It Down, Heavy Metal, Love Zone, Come and Get It, Hard as Iron, Side 2, Blood Red Skies, I'm a Rocker, Johnny Be Good, Love You to Death, and Monsters of Rock. And so there you go. That's a banger. That's from 1988, folks. If you're wondering when that one came out, that was 1988, which was a very cool, fucking 86 on, 84 on was pretty fucking great in the 80s.
Yeah. I mean, I will always maintain that 84 to 94 is, in my opinion, the most stacked era for heavy music.
Yeah, 94 has become this year where, because I'm doing my live radio shows on my radio station, and I usually try to put together like a good variety of not only like different subgenres of the kind of rock and metal that I'm playing, but also like from different years. But I find myself so often going to the 90s and really wanting to play a song, and then I always go, when did this come out? 94.
Yeah.
It's like so much shit that I want to put on my shows. It's like, oh, this is also 94? Holy shit, so much was happening. Like we put a lot of emphasis on 91 because it was a great year, but even 94, because if you're talking about somebody like me, you're now moving into the areas where there was still metal, still grunge, but now you had shit like Green Day and all this other stuff that was like popping up. And so there's like so much stuff from just like, wow, the first half of the 90s is really like the best era of music ever. That's, we've said that many times here, but the late 80s is not bad either because it gave us these bangers here.
Yeah.
So Ram It Down, I said yes, because I love that whole. It's. I just love how it's the most metal I think of any of the songs on anything on any of these two albums probably.
Yeah, maybe Hard as Iron, but yeah, I agree. Ram It Down. If you're talking like full speed metal,
yeah,
this definitely is the point at which you're like, oh, okay, they're still sonically very 80s, but this is clearly the heavier side of the Turbo sessions.
Yeah. And it's a fucking originally I was thinking Ram It Down should open our compilation because it's just such a great opener to me, but. You've got a good case for Out in the Cold there.
My argument is it opens side 2.
Oh shit! Okay, all right.
So just when you think you're like, oh man, there's no way they're topping that first half, and then
Number 2, Heavy Metal, got a big ass yes for me. I also love that one.
Nice. When the power gods come crashing
down. Oh god, it's such a fucking cool song. Songs like that, I just hear that and I go, who are the fucking people that don't like this?
Yeah. Heavy metal. Yeah. Kick ass.
And then I can understand somebody not liking this song, but I love Love Zone. And
I'm keeping Love Zone.
Yes, for me.
I'm keeping Love Zone, and here's my argument for why I wanted it to be a 12-track album. Because I have 2 songs on this album that are in the same vein. They're both stripper songs, essentially. And I'm keeping both of them. But there's such a... Because the odds were stacked in Turbo's favor for me, I felt like I was dismissing Ram It Down unfairly. So I think, honestly, we could get away with a really good 6-a-side 12-track album out of this.
And honestly, we make the fucking rules here, so we can do tracks if we want.
Well, we're keeping fucking Love Zone. I'm down with that.
Yep. So I said no to Come and Get It, but that is a fun song, so I'm not mad either way.
I put Keep It because it has... To me, on this album in particular, if you exclude Love Zone and Love You to Death, it is the most... If you put this on Turbo, it would have been just as stacked an album, if you ask me. This is a fucking stomper. This is your 80s action movie song. Yeah. If you want it, yeah. So I'm saying keep, come and get it.
Okay. Well, for right now, that's still there. I gave a big no to Hard as Iron, even though I feel like quote unquote metalheads will appreciate the chuggy triplet riff or the whatever they do there. Is that called a triplet where they do the
yeah?
Because it's very it's very like metal gallopy, but the song itself is kind of like it's all right. It's I like it, but it's not a favorite.
I had mine in the amber zone, and I'm going to give it a no as well, because my argument for Hard as Iron not being on the album, despite the fact I love it, is that if we're going for a Turbo-style party album, I feel like Hard as Iron at points enters into Painkiller realms.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to throw the vibe off too hard.
I'm with you.
Like Ram It Down is this transitional album between the Turbo era and the thrashy. You know, they did the little speed metal stepping stone from full glam, speed metal, thrash. You know, it's a weird 3-album sequence.
Yeah.
Because even the artwork on this album has much more in line with Painkiller. They're very similar. I think they're the same
colors.
artist. Yeah, similar colors.
Oh, is it the same artist?
They've got to be the same artist, dude. Like they look so similar. And considering the previous 3 albums, they all had what's he called? Doug Johnson or something did the 3 Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders, and Turbo, because I did an art project in school on those album covers.
Also, what's always kind of bothered me about this album cover?
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I'm assuming, like a planet, like the Earth or something. There's a fist coming down and hitting it, and you have all these like sparks, but it's clearly coming down where there's just a bunch of water. So shouldn't it be a splash that's happening here and not a bunch of explosions, sparky times? Because that's water.
I feel like you make the rules if you got a fist that big. I feel like you're kind of commanding I tell you what it is. It looks like the hand is made of like, some sort of chrome metal looking vibe. Maybe it just smacking into something is creating some sort of kinetic heat.
But wouldn't it be cool though if they did put some water and there was like a guy surfing on it or something? You could have done that.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool. That would have been epic.
Well, I do. Honestly, I never really thought about this either. It's the companion album because you have a lady hand and a man hand.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Even more things about these albums that I love.
I think in the context of being a Judas Priest album, I think the second album cover is more honest.
Well, the other guys want lady hands.
Yeah.
The majority of the band is straight.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, but that's probably that's the thing, because has Rob Halford ever written an autobiography?
Has to have, right?
I haven't. But what I want to know is because I want
me a sign, girl. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. I've always been very interested in the ins and outs of, no pun intended, of being a rock star in a famous band in the prime time of when there was groupies. And how did he traverse that whole thing? Because it was good enough to where as far as I know, there weren't like rumors about Rob Halford. He was just Rob Halford, and then eventually, he came out of the closet in the early 90s, I think.
So
I would love to hear about like how he handled that. And I'm assuming if he wrote a book, he probably wrote about that. But if he hasn't, he needs to write a book, because I'd fucking read it. I would love to hear all about Rob's life, honestly. But not if he did write one, it's been a while because I don't think I've heard of a recent Rob Halford autobiography.
Oh wow! Actually, he came out in '98. That's quite.
Okay, I thought it was earlier, but yeah.
Cool. Well,
anyway, so yeah, but everybody out there, if you're on the fence about coming out, just do it because Rob Halford did it, and Rob Halford's awesome. So follow your heart, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, back to Cox.
Back to the Cock trilogy.
Back to the Cock trilogy. Where are we? Did we get rid of Hard as Iron? Yeah, we got rid of Hard as Iron. All right, that one's. So I love how so far we've only really gotten rid of 2 songs from this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Big old fucking yes for Blood Red Skies from me.
I am in full agreement. I was umming and ahhing because I thought, will it throw the vibe off? But no, there's just so many cool fucking parts to this song, and I get chills whenever I hear this song.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's similar to how they start side B on Turbo, but
it also bears some resemblance to the Hellion, which is the start of. I've never thought about this. Sorry, I know I've interrupted you mid-sentence. Sorry.
It's all right.
But you know how fucking Electric Eye?
Yes.
There's a bunch of space, cybernetic
Screaming
imagery.
for Vengeance is that one, right?
Yeah. Opens up the album. The Hellion leads into that little intro. And then the intro to Blood Red Skies, which has similar lyrical themes.
Oh.
Cybernetic heartbeats and shit like that.
Yeah.
If you were to go and then the intro to this
oh wow.
It's the same notes. So maybe it's a sequel song and I've just never given it any thought.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
I bet.
I'm going to have to go listen to them back to back. Yeah.
Back and black!
AC/DC ranking coming a very long time from now.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long one. That's what she said.
That could have been one of their titles.
It's got to be one somewhere.
Got to be a long one.
I'm a Rocker gets a no from me, but I do like that song.
Yeah, I agree. The part that almost swayed it for me is the section where it lifts up into that really melodic guitar solo. That like really epic. But there are some awkward lines in here that do make me think, the verses, the chorus is fucking killer.
Yeah.
I'm a rocker. Oh. I do what I feel as I say. I'm a rocker. Oh, and no one can take that away. Sorry. That's one of those. Do you remember the South Park episode where Eric Cartman can't sing
Come Sail Away?
Come Sail Away, and he needs to do the whole thing. Come sail with me.
So we did agree to get rid of it though, even though it's
I'm a rocker. Yeah, it can go because in terms of hyping you up for a fucking part. I mean, it's a rallying cry of a song, but it's not. Let's do a keg stand in a kiddie pool full of Coors Light, Yeah, so bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Which brings us to Johnny Be Good, which is a Chuck Berry cover, but it's actually not a Chuck Berry cover. It's a Marty McFly cover. All right.
Nice.
And I said no just because I just don't like this cover. For some reason, the chorus annoys me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, if you go back to the original song, I don't really like that song either. No, it's like rock and roll sacrilege maybe, but it's there's a lot of really good old rock songs from Chuck Berry and others that I'm just but Johnny Be Good's one that I've always been kind of this one's a little bit dorky.
I would have much preferred a cover of My Ding-a-Ling on this album.
Come on, Judas Priest. Next album, do a cover of My Ding-a-Ling. Or maybe Sage should do a cover of My Ding-a-Ling.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
I just saw that picture of you guys as a 4-piece on stage. You guys look fucking cool as shit. So yeah,
you've clearly seen it before me because I haven't seen any photos yet.
Oh yeah, your cover photo was updated on Facebook, and so
oh shit, I gotta have a quick look at that.
And it's I don't even think you can see you at all.
Oh yeah. Look, I'm a symbol.
Yeah, you're a symbol.
Yeah, I'm wearing my tie-dye Nirvana T-shirt.
That's what you get for being the drummer. Sometimes you're just going to be hidden behind some gear.
Oh, you can kind of see my eyebrow.
Oh, and that's your best feature, really, eyebrows.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So
so you want to keep Johnny B. Good?
No, you've swayed me because I've now ended up now with 6 songs per album. And I'll let you use the next couple tracks to figure out which one.
Okay, so I got rid of Love You to Death.
I'm keeping Love You to Death.
But I like Love You to Death, but I like that song, but it's because I really like Monsters of Rock.
And this is where I'm going to come around and say I love Monsters of Rock, but I skipped it for the same reason that I skipped over Hard as Iron. I think Hard as Iron and Monster of Rock in the context of an album like Painkiller would hit fucking hard. Because I'm not going to lie, Monster of Rock would have done well on Painkiller because it would have broken up some of the overwhelming double kick. that I'm not going to lie, since you've pointed that out to me, I have gone back and re-listened to Painkiller and thought, you got a point. There are a lot of like samey passages on that album. Loads of the songs on it are killer. But
it's a great album, it's one of those albums that I think gets too much credit. But I guess if you are a fan of Judas Priest that thinks that the albums we're talking about are a low point, then Painkiller is fucking great. But to me, it does feel like a little bit of overcompensation, for just like, well, we apparently we weren't metal enough. Well, let's see what they think about this,
Yeah. To their credit, to come back from this with a song like Painkiller.
One of the best Judas Priest songs, period. But
one of the best metal songs, really. I mean, that fucking riff is just
one of the best drum intros to a song, also.
Yeah, and the solos in that are just absolute shredfest.
Yeah. It is. So as a song, like Painkiller is a song where it literally is just like blowing your load all over the world, blow your load around the world. But anyway, back to Ram It Down. So okay, I can get, because I like Love You to Death, so I could, since let's do this. Let's get rid of Monsters of Rock, because I talked you into getting rid of Johnny B. Good, and the fact that I do like Love You to Death, that I'm cool with it being on here as well. So that does leave us with
12 tracks.
What did we? Okay, we got rid of Hot for Love, and we got rid of Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days.
Yeah, so the two remaining not completely fully decided songs yet are Reckless and Come and Get It.
But if we do a 12-track album,
they fit.
Boom.
Yeah, so we should just do that. 6 from each album.
Why not?
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
It's no fun getting rid of songs from these albums anyway. But
okay.
Yeah. So we've got remaining on Turbo Lover, Locked In, Private Property, Parental Guidance, Out in the Cold, and Reckless. Ram It Down remaining Ram It Down, Heavy Metal, Love Zone, Come and Get It, Blood Red Skies, and Love You to Death.
Nice.
And just like also just for funsies, the songs recorded for Ram It Down that did not come out on that album were Thunder Road, which was a bonus track on Point of Entry, Fire Burns Below, which was on a Stained Class reissue, and then a song called My Design that is unreleased. And so that's what, see, that alone, I would like to hear Under the Gun, Fighting for Your Love, and My Design. So release those, Judas Priest.
I'm gonna have to go through and make a little like mini album out of all of these bonus tracks.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah. So
but
that leaves us with 12 tracks, and so the slashing part of the episode is over, and now we enter the mashing part, where we put them together in an order that feels good.
Okay, I have already in my head an opener and a closer.
Okay, so your opener was going to be Out in the Cold, right?
Yep. And I'm thinking we do all of this and then close with Turbo Lover.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
See, this is why I
getting the goosebumps,
this is why
man.
I need you here, because I wouldn't have thought of that. But once you said it, I'm like, oh, that is great. Yeah.
So,
beginning with Out in the Cold. Yeah.
And then closing with Turbo Lover.
I'm letting you write this down.
Turbo Lover.
But let's do it like we normally do, where we pretend that this will be on vinyl. And so let's split 6 and 6, because you had the idea of starting side B with Ram It Down, which I like.
Cool. Really quick, I'm just going to put a little A side, L B side there. Nice.
So, you know me, I like giving a little bit of back and forth in the compilation. So I feel like if we're starting with Out in the Cold, the second song should be from Ram It Down.
Yep.
And honestly, Heavy Metal is a cool second track.
It would make sense. I mean, it works. It works on one album. There's nothing to say it wouldn't work on this one.
Yeah. You're just stealing. We're just stealing their idea and putting this on second.
Nice. Cool.
Then if we go back to Turbo, let's do the opposite on side B. Let's put Locked In as number 2 on side B.
Ooh, okay. So Locked In. Are we still thinking Ram It Down for opening side B?
Yeah, Ram It Down followed by Locked In.
Nice.
And that so for me that would feel good to go, because we're doing Out in the Cold and then Heavy Metal.
Yep.
Should we just do Private Property at that point?
Man, it's tricky because we're kind of going out of sequence, but I've had it in my head as well. Just a real quick thing. I think the penultimate track should be Blood Red Skies, because I think that's we're getting to the end and this is like the final battle, and then Turbo Lover is the credit scene. You know,
do it. I love that you've put this thought into it, because I'm never really that good with the sequencing.
I love this is my favorite part of these episodes, is putting them in a running order, because I like to think in my head like the flow of, if this was like a set list, like what's gonna give me the most chills or make me scream "fuck yeah" the loudest. Hold on, let me catch up a little bit, because I'm gonna X out the tracks I've already got so far. So we've done Turbo Lover, Locked In, Ram It Down, Heavy Metal. We're gonna need the 2 stripper songs to be on 2 different sides.
Okay.
So I think Love Zone. Heavy Metal running into Love Zone is already a pretty good thing, but I
Yeah.
feel like we're not. Yeah, I don't know. So
I mean, okay. So if we're going from heavy metal to, do you want to?
or should we do a bit of a speedier one there? Because we've had two kind of plodding kind of tracks there.
Yeah.
Something a bit more upbeat. Hell, you want to put Reckless there or something, or should that be later?
Reckless feels like a side B song to me, but I don't know if maybe that's just because I assign it to the end of that album.
Could assign it to the end of this side.
I like that. I do like that. I like it as a side closer.
Reckless at number 6.
So now we need 4 and 5 for side A.
Yeah. What's at number 3 for side A? We're doing
We
Straight
don't-
Into Love.
We didn't figure that out yet. Do you want to do
Okay.
do you want to do either Come and Get It or not Come and Get It? Yeah, Come and Get It or Love You to Death. Because those are a little.
Come and Get It. I think because the tempo needs to go up a little bit. I think.
Yeah, so let's do Come and Get It.
Come and Get It, not come ab to get it. Spell it right. There we go.
So then we're gonna with the way we're doing this, we're gonna have two. How did we end up with 2 turbos in a row here?
Oh, my.
Did we? Hold on. Read me what we have so far on side A.
So side A, we have Out in the Cold. Mm-hmm. Then we have Heavy Metal,
Okay.
followed by Come and Get It.
Okay.
4 and 5 are blank, with Reckless at number 6.
Oh, okay. Okay. So after Love You to Death, let's do
Wait, where do we have Love You to Death right now?
3, right?
No, I've got Come and Get It as number 3.
Oh,
So
sorry.
it's-
Love You to Death
so-
hasn't been on there yet.
No, so the songs we have left are Private Property, Parental Guidance, Out in the Cold, Love Zone, and Love You to Death. Love Zone and Love You to Death need to be on separate sides, and I think something I can't believe we've not brought up yet. Is there a hornier ending to a song than Love You to Death? It literally, it's just whip cracks and sex moans eventually. Like the riff goes double time and it's just clear what's going on. It's just a full blown orgy.
Yep.
You know, it's like most of the song is a seduction and then it's just power drive at the end.
Yep. They deliver at the end.
Yeah. That is a listen to it and film your reaction to it song because that is it, when it, baby, just stuff like that is all over it. I swear they've got like 3 Rob Halfords just like moaning in ecstasy layered over one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 3 was Come and Get It.
Yeah.
So number 4, do you want to do Private Property?
Yeah. I think Private Property. Or actually, no. I think Parental Guidance, because I think Come and Get It is a little more abrasive, and I think Parental Guidance would be. I think what we should do is we should take Parental Guidance and put it at track 4.
Okay.
Parental Guidance.
Okay.
With Love Zone after it.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. And then wrapping up that side with Reckless.
Yep. And then we're left with
Private Property and Love You to Death.
Man, I just think the last 2 spots should just go Private Property and Love You to Death, because I think the crazy outro of Love You to Death would lead quite nicely into the very dark intro of Blood Red Skies.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like kind of a fade out and then
Yeah. Oh, this is
yeah.
good.
So
Take note, people at Columbia, because part of the box set is going to be our compilation too. Why? Just
Dude,
because.
can you imagine like ramming speed, cranked and ranked album version?
Yeah, and everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck is cranked and ranked?"
So we have, to recap, Ramming Speed by Judas Priest.
All right, everybody, get your notes out. If you're wanting to put this compilation together, here's the order.
We have side A, kicking things off. We have Out in the Cold, followed by Heavy Metal. Then you have Come and Get It. Then it's Parental Guidance, followed by Love Zone. And closing out side A is Reckless.
Nice.
Side B opens up with Ram It Down, followed by Locked In, Private Property. Then you have Love You to Death, which kind of crescendos into that big outro fade out, followed by Blood Red Skies as the penultimate track.
Yeah.
And then closing the entire thing out is Turbo Lover.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I'm looking
good.
at that. Is that a perfect album?
Oh yeah,
That's not far from it.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't
like it.
I
I'm
mean,
actually really excited to listen to
it's
this.
a matter of opinion, of course, but we're talking about two
Just
albums.
a matter of opinion.
Nice. They just got a new drummer,
Yeah.
Primus. I don't know how I feel about it because like I saw the guy. I've seen the guy's videos and I'm like, he's good, but I don't know if he's unique enough for Primus. But I'll give him. I feel like they know what they're doing. So because they fucking passed up. There's this guy that played drums in like Mars Volta and a few other bands. And that dude's fucking insane. And they didn't go with him. And I'm just like, whoa, okay.
You got to be pretty wild. You got to be.
So I think so maybe, and I guess this new guy does seem a bit quirky. So I guess he'll get along with Les and Lair. So you know.
Well, we have here potentially the ultimate glam Judas Priest album.
Yeah.
This right here. I mean, it's.
The real question is if we could design a cover for Ramming Speed, combining elements from both of these, what would you do?
Maybe them giving each other a fist bump of some description.
Yeah. We're fisting over here on the show. Or really, let's just take this album cover and then we'll put the weird candy cane looking thing in his hand, and then the candy cane is stabbing into the earth, and then there'll be huge waves with people surfing. No, we won't do that. But that would be cool, a cool combination. But also,
you could maybe even just use the rear cover of Turbo as shown in that one there.
Oh, and maybe. This is the like a black and it's like a bluish whitish kind of tint thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is if you see it's the high octane mix of Turbo Lover. And
nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's also a 12-inch of Parental Guidance, and eventually I would like to get that one too, but I don't have that yet.
Nice.
Because I love 12-inch singles, and they made a shitload of those in the 80s. There's a lot of
whenever I see some like cool 12 inches, I just like funnel them all into my arm and just like, here we go.
Yeah.
Walk over to the counter. Yeah.
Because that's very unique, because nobody does that anymore. That's the heyday of the vinyl, where they had so much fucking money going around. They're like, yeah, let's throw 2 songs on a 12-inch.
Yeah.
Play it at 45 speed.
Man.
Or this side B is going to have an 8-minute remix of this particular song, which I miss that shit too. If I was in you can do this. You should do this in your band. But if I was in a band that, had some clout and stuff, and when people wanted to hear our stuff, I would put out singles with like 8-minute remixes of our songs or whatever.
That'd be cool.
It'd be like an industrial mix of one song and an ambient mix of another song. Shit, man, it'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
But
That'd be cool.
Alas, I'm
Remixers
a
are
failure, and I never made it as a musician. So I would just be remixing my own fucking songs, which is dumb as shit.
Well, I mean, look at what we've achieved here. We
We really did.
Yeah.
Stop being so down on yourself, old head, because you've just, with Eddie Sparxx's help, you've created an amazing compilation of 80s glammy Judas Priest.
I know they'd never do this, but if Judas Priest walked out on stage and played only this, I'd come away from it
Jesus
with a
Christ.
gigantic smile on my face.
Yes. You know what I would love more than anything, and they would definitely never do this. They literally just book a tour, and it's called Judas Priest plays all their fucking best songs, and that's all they say, and then everybody gets there and they just play this compilation.
Yeah. And it's specifically that Judas plays all their fucking best songs
Yes,
tour.
that's what it's called. Judas Priest plays all their fucking best songs, you assholes, and then they show up, and then it's just this stuff.
It's just these 12 very maligned but nonetheless kick-ass songs.
But there's going to be a handful of us in the crowd that are just losing our shit the whole time.
Yeah! Everybody get in the love zone! Like,
Oh man, that'd be so great. That'd be so.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, you kind of get that a little bit. Well, it's not. There's no ram it down on it really, but the Priest live album, there's just a lot of '80s stuff, including Turbo stuff on there.
Allow me to remind myself of that track listing because I have it here somewhere.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh shit!
I got the vinyl and the VHS of that one because I love it so much.
You cheeky fucker. Right. What do we have here? Out in the cold, heading out to the highway, metal gods, breaking the law, love bites, some heads are gonna roll, the Sentinel, private property. Fuck, dude. Rock You All Around the World, Electric Eye, Turbo Lover, Free Will, but this is all 80s Priest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from Hellbent for Leather. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like it so much because they
damn.
And the fact that like they play Love Bites. I love that song.
In the dead of night.
That sounds like it should be on Turbo or something,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's on That's on Defenders, right?
Yeah, Defenders. Yeah.
Which I love Defenders as well, but that album's fine on its own.
Defenders is great.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, we could do a whole other one of Screaming for Vengeance and Defenders of the Faith.
Well, I think that would end up pissing people off because I'd want to get rid of a lot of Screaming for Vengeance. Screaming for Vengeance is one of those albums where I really like that album, but I think it's one of those things where people remember like 2 or 3 really badass songs, and so they go, Screaming for Vengeance is a perfect album, and I'm like, let's go back and listen to the whole thing, Buster, okay? Because it's got some songs I'm like, not great, and it's a little, there's some lags in there, whereas I don't think Defenders of the Faith has anything bad on it, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, dude, there's so many like 2 album pockets of Judas Priest that you could do this with. Like, you could do one for British Steel and Point of Entry. You could do one for Stained Class and Killing Machine. Dude, there's so many good ones.
Yeah,
Man.
I think, but you run into some issues because I feel like Stained Class and Killing Machine production-wise are so different from each other that putting them on this, I feel like those need to remain separate, especially Stained Class, because that album, the way it sounds is
very specific to that album, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas I feel like Killing Machine, or Hellbent for Leather, depending on where you live, and British Steel would maybe go together pretty good, or British Steel and Point of Entry. But once again, I love pretty much all of Point of Entry, so shit.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Point of
that's
Entry.
Why I'm a weirdo. I am a weirdo.
I've really developed a liking for Point of Entry in recent years. I remember I had it really low in my original ranking, but like here's the thing: you point things out to me, and then I look at it, and I'm like, actually, you know what? You got a point.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think the problem with Point of Entry for some Judas Priest fans is the fact that there are songs that aren't very metal on it, but they're good songs. So it's like, and I don't really care. I don't, because like, you know, when we did the Priest ranking, which at one point we'll do a complete re-ranking like we did Kiss, but I continually pointed out how there's so much music that they made, even on their metal albums, that are not metal songs at all. And I think that is part of what started leading me into becoming a fan, because sure, anyone that's a fan of metal hears Painkiller and goes, fuck, but there's just all these other tracks that I'm like, these guys were like there was way more dynamics to their albums than there was to like Iron Maiden and other bands. And so that's what ended up making me a Judas Priest fan. It wasn't the classics. It was those songs that like either people hate on or don't even talk about. Cause I'm like, wow. Cause even like the early stuff, when they have those ones that are almost like ballads and stuff on the like 70s stuff, like there's just so many great songs that I'm just like, God, and people just overlook these fucking songs because they're not metal. You know, you could easily just say, well, this is just a rock ballad. It's not a, you know, metal song. Anyway, that's for another episode where we re-rank the Judas Priest discography, which will be a while from now, because I need to really think about that one. But
that's a deep dive.
I do need my problem is I've gotten so into the 70s 80s era of Judas Priest. I've gotten to know those albums pretty well, but when you get past Painkiller, that's where I need to spend more time with those albums. It would be helpful if they released those again on vinyl, so I can just buy them and then I'll just spin them and listen to them and get to know them better. But so because I'm right. I'll fucking buy that. What's that? What's the one with the really shitty album cover? Jugulator.
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 Yeah, the crazy thing about the Jugulator album cover is that it had a cool album cover, but for some reason, like in 1997, they were like, nah, the demon-looking thing's too fucking far away. We need to zoom up on his face to the point where it is zoomed in digitally with horrendous pixelation going on, and it's like, like the original is so much better.
Well, I feel like if they reissue that on vinyl, just put the full album cover. It's kind of like that Cannibal Corpse album cover where the original was a zoomed in picture of like a body, and then like they reissued it with the full album cover. Do that with Jugulator. I know that once again, that's an album that fans aren't clamoring for a version of it, but honestly, I would like both of those on vinyl. I want, and we should slash and mash both of those, which is, I think that's on the list to do what is it called? Is it Demolition? What is the album? Demolition and Jugulator. Yeah.
Jugulator. Yeah.
With,
Jugulation.
Jugalicious. I don't know.
Yeah. Jugulation.
What is the guy's name that sings on those albums?
Tim Ripper Owens.
Tim Owens. Yeah. I would like, that's the thing is that I hate being such an outlier in the world of rock and metal, because I want those two reissued, and I want the two Maiden albums with what's his name singing on them.
Blaze Bailey.
Blaze Bailey. I just like, because they're good albums, and I feel like they need to be. It would be a good idea for the what is it, the encompassing overarching celebration of the band's catalog, to take these albums and don't just act like, well, we did that was a weird time. No, celebrate those, because they were a point in your career that, whether they like it or not, was important. And some people love those albums. And there are some fucking Blaze Bailey Maiden songs that I love. Anyway, sorry. I don't know what tangent that was all about. That's just my brain.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, this has been great. And, you know,
Nice.
Yeah. I know we normally only play that on when we rank stuff, but now that I have it at my fingertips, I'm just gonna like play it every episode.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
like
I very much
He
enjoy
fucking left the band!
all right.
Oh man.
So this has been
that's
we blew through this pretty quick.
yeah.
That's all right though. It's the first of the Cock trilogy, and so this was just like the foreplay.
Yeah, we're gonna be sporting Woodies left, right, and center.
Yeah, next time. So this is just sort of gearing up. Next time it's going to be full on erection, and then part three is the release. And
Yes.
that will be, see, that's why that works out. I'm just adding so much more to what this is when it's just a stupid. What do you mean it has to do with cocks? It does. You could say that every artist that we've ever done, aside from Heart, have we done any other female artists besides Heart?
Never before has the name Cranked and Wanked ever felt more important.
Yeah. Cranked and Wanked trilogy of
Yeah.
Cock trilogy. Is Heart really the only female fronted band we've done?
I don't know. I have to take this up with HR.
Can't think of another one that we've done.
Let me look at that. Hang on. Female fronted rock and metal bands.
Yeah,
Let's
because
see.
we haven't done Lita Ford yet.
No, we haven't.
You sounded like Paul McCartney right there. No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
I just woke up and my song was called Ham and Eggs. Or Scrambled Eggs, whatever the fucking song is called.
Female fronted metal bands. Let's try this.
Yeah, we haven't. I think Heart is.
Yeah.
What a sausage fest our show is.
Yeah. Dude, we haven't done Vixen. We got to do Vixen, man.
Okay, we can do Vixen. But I don't know if you heard recently they announced what is it, the Mayhem Festival? One of those. Yeah, the Mayhem Festival. It came out that this year they're going to book it with all female fronted bands and call it the Miss Mayhem Festival. And I'm like, that sounds cool as shit. And of course, in the comments, you have people like, well, it's fucking woke as shit. I'm like, why? There have been so many fucking concert packages that have been put together that are just dudes. It's like. Yeah. Who the fuck cares? That sounds like a cool idea. I would totally go to that.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. That'd be sick.
Even bands that I don't even really like. I just would enjoy the experience of seeing all these artists that all together that you probably wouldn't see because, like it or not, rock and metal is still male dominated.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, on that note, shouldn't be talking about that. This is the Cock trilogy.
This is the Cock trilogy.
Not the Twat trilogy. That's it.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, next time you see us, we will be ranking Dangerous Toys, which is only 4 albums. But have you started jumping into that yet, to Dangerous Toys?
First album, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because the one that's going to be fun to talk about is artist formerly known as. That's the one that's going to be fun to talk about. Because I love all 4 of the albums. So I don't know what the fuck I'm going to rank them. But
to me, like, they always struck me as somewhere between Skid Row and Poison. Like, like the dirtier, jammier parts of Poison with a lot more edge. A la Skid Row, Guns N' Roses going on.
Yeah, I think the crossover between is that's only a few songs because like on the first, really just the first album, second album doesn't really have anything that's like Sportin' a Woody or what's the Tease and Pleasin'.
That's Hellacious Acres, right?
The second one, yeah.
Yeah.
The only one I don't have on vinyl because it's really hard to come by. Because that one came out in 91. And so there wasn't a whole lot of vinyl being done. And so you have to get it from overseas and they're very pricey. But I would like one.
Yeah.
And they haven't reissued it yet, but hopefully one day they will. Anyway. All right. So next, so Cock Trilogy Part 1 is done. This is the A New Hope of Cock trilogy. Next time will be the Empire Strikes Back. But that just means at the end of the episode we're going to be really bummed out. Why? One of us is going to have their hand cut off at the end of the next episode, and then we're going to find out that I'm actually Eddie's father.
You're like nub, and I'll just be like, "This is the Clark trilogy. What am I supposed to use now?"
Search your feelings, young Eddie. You know it to be true. You must jerk it with your left hand. It's impossible. All right. On that note, before we completely go off the rails, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. My dogs are barking. They want me to finish now, too. Thank you to the peanut butter platypuses, the aluminium squirrels, the Belvedere ball sitters, the Christmas dogs, and you all rule. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I don't have anything else to wrap it up, but we will see you next time for Cock Trilogy Part 2. And as usual, I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Eddie Sparxx to take us out.
I'm your later duder, bow, bow, talking to the computer. I'm your later duder, doing a fade out.
It's a fade out. Bye, everybody.